Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. That's also on the BBC Micro. Let me see if I can find the game that I want to run today. Let's see here. Click, click. Ah, there it is. Ossie by B&V Parkin. Distributed by Peaksoft. In 1984. In this game, you need to catch fish and feed your babies while keeping poachers away from your nest so they don't steal your kids. Do you want instructions? Why, yes, we do need instructions. So let me go ahead and press Y here. Ossie the osprey has 5 chicks in the nest. These chicks must be kept alive by feeding them with fish. At random intervals, a poacher climbs a tree to steal a chick. Your keyboard controls the osprey as follows. Z is left, X is right, colon is up, and backslash is down. And the return key lets you dive or drop a fish. Dive if you don't have a fish, and drop a fish if you do. At game over, press spacebar to restart a new game. So if you get a game over, you can press spacebar and try again. The display at the top of the screen is as follows. Current score, lives left, time, and the high score. And that is from left to right at the top of the screen. You lose a life by failing to drop a fish in the nest in time, or by the poacher reaching the nest. The poacher can be killed by flying into him from any direction. The height of the osprey above the water before diving determines which row of fish is accessible. When a fish is caught, fly the bird to a point above the nest and drop the fish. The osprey will not dive from above the tree. There are 20 seconds on the first sheet to catch a fish and drop it in the nest. If you exceed the time limit, you lose a life. In other words, one of your kids goes hungry and dies. If you drop a fish in the nest within the timer restarts. On subsequent sheets, the time limit reduces by 2 seconds per sheet to a minimum of 8 seconds. After the second, third, fourth, and fifth sheets, an extra life is given. Scores are 10 points for a fish caught, 5 for a fish in the nest, and 20 for killing a poacher. And just like that, we get to press spacebar, and the game begins. So here we are at the upper left. If we dive down from just at the bottom of the nest, we can get the first row of fish. Also, that guy climbing the nest down there in the lower left is indeed a poacher. You want to run into him from virtually any direction to make sure that you knock him back down. He will come back, as you see there. And you want to make sure that he does not get to the nest, or you'll lose one of your kids. And if you lose all your kids, the game is over. Now, just above the nest, if I can do it right, I did it right, is the second row. You need to be pretty careful about where exactly you are, and you need to line yourself up exactly. So that way, you can grab a fish when you need to. If you line yourself up with the top of the third, or rather the center mountain, you should be able to get a fish on the third row. And I can't seem to do that, apparently. And I am completely flailing here. And that noise means I just lost one of my babies. There we go. There's the fish caught on the third row. And time really counts. You don't want to spend too much time lining yourself up, because you might accidentally end up missing the fish, and you'll be wasting precious seconds trying to get a fish again. I don't know if I'll reach the 8-second sheet where the timer is at a max of 8 seconds. I mean, I will try, but no guarantees. And now for the fourth row, which sometimes I regret leaving for last. Get rid of you. Now we need to be somewhat above the bottom of the left cloud. If we can line ourselves up that way and give ourselves some room between the fish and ourselves, we can easily get the fish on the bottom row. Got him. And I made that look a lot easier than it actually is. I won't say a lot easier, but definitely easier. And we are now on the second sheet. And we only have 18 seconds per fish. And we need to be very careful. And we need to make sure that we're at the proper elevations, because if we're not going to grab the fish like we would like to. And I am making this look dead easy for some reason. And I finished the first, or rather, I finished the second row before I finished the first. That's hilarious. And you don't get more points for working at the harder rows, sadly. So you just need to worry about getting the fish. And I need to get to my babies. Not soon enough, apparently. This game is not very forgiving sometimes. You really cannot afford to mess up in this game. Like so. I'm already down to my second life. I'm already down to 2 babies left. That's not a good thing. And I thought I'd be able to get that, and I didn't. I can knock him down, but what's the point if I can't get to my babies in time? Especially when I'm messing up that badly. And now I'm down to my last life. Not fun. And I am now panicking. I shouldn't be. And I took too long, and that's it. Game over. Yeah, as you can see, it's a fun idea. Once you get used to the elevations that you need to be to pick up fish, it's a fun game to play. Well, it becomes a more fun game to play. But it can still be a bit of a hard game. Let's go ahead and press the spacebar here and try again. So we'll be back on the first level. Our high score will be at 785 points. I'm surprised there aren't more games like this one virtually anywhere. I do find that a little puzzling, because I really like the concept. I really do, actually. This is one of the more original ideas that I've seen on the game. Almost called it the Game Boy. Why did I do that? This is definitely one of the more original ideas that I've seen on the BBC Micro. I just realized I almost called this the Game Boy because of the Game Boy Micro. Weird. How often do I do that? Not very often. And we are now down to our third row. Incredible. Let's see if we can grab this fish again. We can. And I did that way too early. Let's try that again. Let's get the fish. Let's knock that guy down. And let's also try to go for anything on the bottom row before we will do anything, really. Okay. Before we lose a fish, really. And, if you try to catch a fish on an upper row, or rather a higher row, from a much higher elevation, it won't work. So, you have to be down at the bottom of the nest to ensure that you get the highest row of fish. Or at least a fish from the highest row. And you also have to make sure. Really? Well, I can probably get that one. Nope, can't even get that one. I am having some trouble here. Let's try it now. There we go. And I'm going to wait here on purpose, just to make it a little bit easier to get that guy knocked down. Are you serious? That did not work? And I am now down through 3 lives. Well, I don't... Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think that's really any better than how I've been doing. Ew. And now I'm gonna knock you down and feed my kids. What's left of them? Alright. I was gonna say that I was gonna work on the second row, but, well, that last fish on the first row came back. So let's go ahead and... Yeah. Like I said, you kind of had to be exact on your elevation there. Oh, this is not looking good. And I am now panicking and flailing about. This is not how I should be doing things in this game. That's really how I should not be doing things in this game. Okay. And yeah, the elevations do matter. It's the only way you're going to be able to get specific fish from, well, I wouldn't say specific fish, but the fish from the row that you want to get the fish from. Because, yeah, I skipped the fish that was on the second row to get the one on the third. I'm about to say, can I get that one? Answer, yes. Obviously, the lower rows are harder to get fish from than the ones in the higher rows. Just because of the whole deal of where you're diving down from and where the fish needs to be. And just timing everything so that way you can get to the fish when you need to. And I can't believe I timed that so well. Usually I don't. Oh no. Oh, dear. This is not going well. That did. Amazingly. But I'm afraid that my luck will not hold out. Get the fish. Excellent. And I have no idea which screen I'm on. Let me see what the timer is. Yeah, I made to the third sheet. And I hit 1,000 points. Well, I'm finally satisfied with my progress here. Ah. Alright, get him. Okay. I can't tell the fish are moving more quickly. I can't tell if it's just me. But anyway. This is quite a good game. I had fun with it when I played it for Twitter. And I'm really starting to remember why it was that I liked this. Figuring out what elevations you need to be to pick up a fish, bit of an adventure. Also, I like the little house that's right there in the lower right-hand corner, just above the water. That's a nice little detail that I can respect there, and I need to knock you out of the water. Or back into the water, rather. Alright. We've got that. Get rid of this guy. Somehow time it so that way we can get that fish. Time everything so that way we can take care of everything, including the... Oh, sheesh. Including the poacher in time, and... Well, that was it. That was it. Almost made it to the 4th screen there. That was incredible. It's not like anything special happens if you make it to the screen that has the 8-second limit. So let me see. 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8. That would be the 6th. That would be the 6th sheet. And if you can make it to sheet number 6, that's actually pretty amazing. You have plenty of patience with this game. I guess you can kind of sort of consider it beat, but even then, the game just keeps going and going until you run out of lives. And once you run out of lives, that is that. So, yeah, that was Ossie for the BBC Micro. Fine idea. I wish there were more games like this, at least that I'm aware of. Special shout out to High Retro Game Lord 89 for introducing me to this game and all the other BBC Micro games that I played, as well as introducing me to the wide world of recording on OBS, which this was also recorded on. And might as well go ahead and go for the mini review. Graphics. Pretty colorful. Also pretty basic. At least you can see things and identify things. So graphics are pretty serviceable. Don't set the world on fire, but they do what they need to do. Sound and music, well, there's not much in the way of music, but there's definitely sound, and this is it's going to be as about as arcadey as you can get. And I like that in a game like this. Play control, it's responsive, and the only problem you're really going to have is figuring out the elevations you need to dive from in order to get the fish, especially the fish in the second row, the second from top. Once you figure that out, everything goes pretty well. And finally, the replay value. Your mileage may vary with this one, much like the other arcade style games that I have played on the BBC Micro. You may play this for 5 to 10 minutes. You may play this for almost an hour. But this is definitely one game with which fun can definitely be had. And the only way to quit the game is to press the pause/break key, which I'm pretty sure just says break on the BBC Micro computer keyboard. Anyway, that was Ossie for the BBC Micro. Hopefully I will be back with another game. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. Maybe it'll be somewhere in between. Who knows? Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later.